But Vinitji, there are many tough questions that should be asked of the Aam Aadmi government. But I ask you, as an Indian citizen, the national capital is also the seat of power for the central government. Our judges, our cabinet, our prime minister, our president, everybody lives in this capital. And again, Delhi is not the only city that is racked by pollution. There are places in Haryana, there are places in Punjab, there is Mumbai that has recently been battling acute air pollution. Why won't this be declared a national emergency? Because it is a national emergency. Let the Modi government take the lead. Let the Modi government show how it should be changed. And if you think Kejriwal's government is doing such a bad job, show them how it's to be done. But why is the central government washing its hands of this, Vinitji?
I think you'll have to stand corrected. This has been discussed at various levels. There has been request by the UD, the Urban Development Ministry itself. Mr. Puri also requested. There is a letter which has been shot to the Chief Minister. He chose not to reply. Courts have, summoned Kejriwalji. They have, in fact, even observed that he has money to spend on advertisements, but he does not. He's not serious about NGT or other things. Let me also bring your attention to one particular part. This farce of, odd even. When you force people to go through the odd even of the vehicles. Do you think people don't travel in taxi? Then the taxis from the nearby area, Gurgaon, Noida, they enter Delhi. So the number of vehicles don't come down. But it's a farce. It's a pain to the citizens. The farce of having smoke towers, and they are non-functional. So we'll have to investigate why did they spend that 19 crore rupees. Did they take action on that particular part? Number three, people like you and me, we are conscious citizens. We would like to travel in DTC buses, but you would be pained to know that the number of buses after Arvind Kejriwal became CM has come down to one third. The number of buses which are operational right now in Delhi are one third what it was operating in 2013. Now, how do we have? But the central government has given more than 100 buses with their electrical buses to them. Central government has also built that subway which is in the Pragati Maidan, which eases the traffic there particular part. But if the chief minister is a visiting chief minister who chooses to spend 6 days outside Delhi, does not sign up, is busy, spending money on the lawyers. The amount of money which he has paid to the lawyers in the last 4 years is enormous. If the same money is used in, solutions for pollution, I'm sure we will have some relief.
I think you've raised some very important questions, and I'll take them to Abhinandita in just a moment. But let me bring in Bhavreen Kandhari. Bhavreen, I have lost count of the number of shows you and I have done together. It's been years. We keep discussing the same thing. I have personally reached a point where, having been hospitalized for pneumonia, I do not go out for a walk anymore. But I am a person of privilege. I can afford to talk like this. Think of people who have no choices, who have to go out and drive a cycle rickshaw, who have to go out and work on a construction site, who are daily laborers, daily wages, who cannot afford air purifiers. It is shocking that this does not enrage us. It is shocking that this is not the most important thing in India today. Bhavreen.
Absolutely, Barkha, and thank you so much for always talking about it. And you were even speaking about COVID, and you've had a personal loss as well. Like most of us, if you remember that everyone has lost a near and dear person, and that is primarily because of the weak lungs. And why we had weak lungs, because we are living in a city which has given us this, over the years. Every third child in the city, I've said this so many times, with the asthma study from 2019 done by Lung Care Foundation and Dr. Arvind Kumar, it clearly points out that every third child has damaged lungs or an asthma or a COPD or any lung-related problems. This is just heartbreaking. And, to see politicians play this game yet again and again and again of, blaming each other. I just feel that as a parent, as a citizen, it doesn't matter to me who is doing what or not. I will tell you I will go back actually in the last 3-4 years and just point out to various things, whether if one was, we just heard that they probably put a smog tower. At that point of time, they were trying to take credits. Who built it, who wanted it, while people like us with experts were writing from day one that this is not going to work, you're wasting money and time, but it was not being heard. The biggest construction project started in Delhi was during COVID. That wasn't necessary. Even today, it has so much dust coming up. Why are we not holding on to the huge government projects in the city. Before that, it was the 7 GPRA. Even before that was the East Kidwai Nagar. So we have to understand that, yeah, once we solve the problem and come to an AQI 60, then we do everything. You can, come burn your crackers that day, or you can, even do construction. But until then, like you said, it's not even an national emergency. It's a public health emergency.
Are you at all hopeful of anything changing?
Well, at this point, then every year you think that yes, maybe, because in the initial days when we are saying that the fires were lesser, of course we were watching that. We knew that the harvesting time is a bit postponed, so we will see worse coming in. But every source, Barkha, this is all about systemic changes. This is all about policy. This is all about institutional changes. Yes, you're right. It will take time, and we need to be patient, and they must work on it. That is the last thing. While you say one thing, but you're doing another. The Aam Aadmi Party may be saying something. They're cutting 5 trees an hour in the city. The metro is saying delayed. They cut 14,000 trees in the phase 4. Why are we doing these kind of decisions?
Yeah.
Taking these decisions and actions that will cause further damage. The policy, we have a car-centric approach, like we just heard, from my co-panelist, and we must have a good, robust public transport system. What are we waiting for? We cannot wait 2 years,
I don't know
3 years, and 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know what we're waiting for. People don't seem to care that their lifespans are actually being shortened. But I want to just ask, before I go back to the Aam Aadmi Party leader with the questions that have been raised in the program, Dr. Gupta, some studies suggest that the air we're breathing is equivalent to smoking 30 cigarettes a day. So, what is the purpose of creating awareness against smoking and so on? Because look at what we're inhaling. What is talk a little bit about that this is as good as being a smoker.
But you are very right. Air pollution is so much that is almost even non-smokers, they become smokers. But at the same time, if we don't ask the patient to quit, don't encourage the patients to quit smoking, that we are encouraging them that, okay, this is something you can't do, but this is something you can do. So you stop smoking. At least you will don't do much harm.
No,
Increased
but I'm
harm
saying
to
also
yourself.
don't
But at the
stop.
same
I'm saying,
time, even non-smokers.
nahi peeta. Yeah, exactly.
Same time, non-smokers, they're forced to smoke. And everybody knows that smoking is so much injurious to health. It can lead from COPD to bronchitis to even cancers and even gastritis and so many things.
Yes.
So definitely, as our respected panelists have said, that there are so many of efforts are going on. But then putting on the blame on this one, that one, we are doing this thing, we are not doing this thing, or it should be done, or that should be done. I think it's more of a people's participation, until unless people are educated and made aware about it. And they should do the things that to educate the people. And at the same time, the problem about farm fires. Now, the window is very short, which I feel that window about the harvesting of the previous crop and the next crop, the window is very short. They should find some ways to use that stubble. In many areas, stubble is being used, but they should find some way. And they say that there should be decomposters. But again, decomposter will take some time to compost to turn the residue into compost. There should be some ways to encourage the farmer. There should be some ways to utilize the stubble. And definitely, if we look at the farmer's point of view, they have no other option. I think they have the options, but they are afraid of using those options. I think government should come here, and every government, whether it's BJP, it's Congress, it's AAP, anybody, even local communities, they should come forward and help those farmers and also participate in reducing the air pollution in their own ways.
So let me take some of these 2 specific questions to Abhinandita. One is a 23 crore smoke tar that is found to be ineffective. Bhavreen says that activists had warned that ye nahi chalega, but the government went ahead with it. Gopal Rai, of your party colleague, has actually said that take action against the chairman who closed the smoke tars, but experts say the smoke tar isn't going to be effective. The 23 crores were spent on it. The Supreme Court in 2021 has said that we're going to audit your advertisements. Vinit Goenka made a reference to those. Do you believe, Abhinandita, that the Aam Aadmi Party has failed, as Vinit Goenka alleges, to take air pollution seriously because he calls Kejriwal a visiting chief minister, too busy in elections and fighting legal battles? How do you respond to that charge, Abhinandita Mathur?
Honestly, much as the pollution hurts any any kind of politicking of this nature also hurts, because we have to find solutions. We have to, accept our share of the responsibility, which I don't see from either the BJP spokesperson or their party in general. About the smoke tower or other efforts that are being made, there should be no problem in even experimenting or wanting to make efforts, and then they're all towards a constructive solution. Number two, about the farm fires and the solutions of for farmers, I think that is a very important point that Dr. Gupta raised, that of course it has to be you have to give incentives to the farmers. You have to find a solution for them, which is what, for example, we are trying to do in Punjab with 4,500 volunteers on the ground who educate and make aware the farmers. Of course, there's a long way to go. I'm not denying it. In contrast, if you look at the Haryana government, what the Haryana government is doing at the moment is going and arresting, filing FIRs against the farmers. That is no way to find a solution. Coming back to the point of what all has been done and whether advertisements or absent chief minister, it's too rich coming from BJP, because less said the better about their leadership. Whether it is a crisis in Manipur, whether it is a crisis of COVID, their leadership has been absent for a very long durations, and just have the audacity to actually to make political arguments out of actually a climate